is going to be recorded.
Yes.
Because people are late, then when they're like, what did I miss? Like, video on school.
It's recording now.
It is.
Hello.
Hi. We're going to start with two. I'm going to do one, but I'm going to go back to it because it's a little bit, it's easier than the rest, but it's not like the greatest representative. So I'm going to start with two. So, what your goal is on all of these is to get it into the y equals mx plus b form. Now, what should we talk? What's up? You did it last year. Because if it's in this form, I can look at it and the number in front of the x is the slope, and the number just being added or subtracted is the y-intercept. But in the form it's in right now, where it's not y equals, I can't look at that and tell anything. So my job is going to be to get it from this into this form. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want the 4y to be on this side, but I don't want the x to be on this side with it. So I need to move it. Is it currently positive or negative? It's currently positive, so how do I get rid of it? I'm going to subtract x. But don't write that, don't write yet, because I want to show you like the little trick. First of all, make sure you realize that that positive is still there with the 4y. And then I'm going to write this different. Instead of writing 8 minus x, I'm going to take that negative x and jam it in front of the 8. So the x is still negative. I'm just putting it in front. And is the 8 positive or negative? It's positive, so I'm going to put plus 8. Now you can write. I wanted to show you like that I'm switching the order. Yeah, the x is negative because I had to subtract it. Are you good? Alright, but I still don't have y by itself. No one should be talking. I shouldn't hear a single word from anybody. I don't know who's mumbling, but I keep hearing stuff. I want y by itself. So my job is to, what's happening to the y right now? It's being multiplied by 4, right? So I'm going to divide by 4. But you got to be fair and divide all three things by 4. Kind of see we're starting to get to that, make our way to that form. So these will cancel, and you just get y by itself, which is like the point, that's what we want. And then we got a fraction we're going to pull out. What number is really in front of this x? So negative 1, right, because the negative sign. So negative 1/4 gets kind of yanked out in front, and the x gets written after it. And it's the same thing, I'm writing the same thing, but now I can look at this and like, oh, the number in front of the x is negative 1/4. Where this one, the number in front of the x, like people have a harder time kind of seeing it. And then what's 8/4? 2. So now that we have it in that form, what's your slope? Negative 1/4. What's your y-intercept? 2. But I couldn't tell that from the original form. So that's the idea. This form we have sucks. Let's put it in the form we want, and then we can answer the questions that we want. Questions on that one? Like, why did you do this? Why did this go here? Anything I can clarify on 2? Alright, let's keep rocking. Let's do 3. I'm going to go back to 1. I'm going to do 3 and 4 first. Same thing. I want y by itself. I look and see that there's a 2x over there with the y's. That doesn't belong there. I want y on its own, so I need to move that 2x over. It's positive 2x, so how do I move it? Subtract it or negative 2x, whichever way you want to say that. Now be careful here, because a lot of people will write down that. It's a very common mistake. What did that person forget? There's a negative sign up there. And that has to come down. On the last one, it was a plus. So it didn't really matter because you don't have to like bring down a plus sign because it's just positive. But that you got to make sure you check that sign. And then I'm going to take that negative 2x and shove it in front of the 20. And is the 20 going to be positive or negative? It's going to be positive, so I put plus 20. It's going to be positive because it was positive to start. I'm not moving it. I'm just like I'm not moving it across the equal sign. I'm just like pushing it to the side. Then what? divide by -5, all three things, because you're a fair individual. These -5s cancel, that's the point. This fraction gets pulled out in front, and you could actually write it just like that. If you want to cancel the negative signs, go for it. But if you don't, it's not wrong. And then 20 divided by -5 is -4. So either of those are valid, correct answers. Question on that one? Alright, you guys try 4. And if you want to like do it on your desk because you're not sure that you're gonna get it right, that's fine. I don't, whatever. If you get it wrong and fix it, that's fine too. Be careful of the sign in front of the Y. Move your 2x over. You're not done after that. There is a division. A negative. Because that Y is negative. Alright, so that 2x has got to go. It's not welcome here anymore. It's positive, so I subtract. Those are going to cancel, but there's still a negative in front of that y. So it's really still a -1 there. I'm going to have to take care of that. And I could write 5 minus 2x, but I think my life's easier if I put the new -2x in front of the 5. And you can't stop here because that negative sign is still there. So just like if there was like an 8, I would divide by 8. If there's a -1, I'm going to divide by -1. Those will cancel. And then we pull out this fraction and write it in front. So you could write it as -2 over 1. Oops, I'm sorry, -2 over -1 times x if you want, and then this will be -5. Or you might have canceled the negatives and written that. Both of those are legitimate answers. To me, this is like a lot less confusing because there's just less stuff going on, but it's up to you. These are both okay. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yeah, that's another one. You could just do that. I put 2 over 1 because I'm just thinking like slopes of fraction. I'm trying to keep it that way, but that's not wrong. How many had that? How many got to that before I did? Nice. Alright, number 1. I was afraid this is going to be like really hard for you guys, but it seemed to go well earlier, so hopefully we're good here too. What's my first step on number 1? That 2x is not welcome. I only want y's on the left hand side. It's positive, so I'm going to move it by subtracting. Which makes those guys cancel. I have a positive y, so there's no like negative sign to bring down, it's just y. And then, again, I'm gonna like jam that in there, so that's -2x. But then I would write plus 0. It's totally valid to write that. It's also totally valid to not write that. So you can do that either way. That was just a weird one to start with because the other ones had like an extra step. Give me thumbs up, down, sideways. No double birds. I'll take it. Alright, I got the answers to the first, we just did the first 4. The first 10, I don't want to give you the answers to the whole thing, but I want you to be able to check and make sure you're like on the right track. There's 5 through 10. Then let me know if if I can help. Let me know. Happy to go through it with you or answer questions. Yeah. I've gone like halfway into the next hour before.